Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man in Megacity. Continuing on from the last part, I'll now be dealing with Gemini Man, as I have enough weapon energy to deal with him now. So make sure to equip the flame shot in advance, and probably the hard suit as well. And just stand still and use the fully powered flame shot. Or just use a regular flame shot. I think that seems to be a better option, as it's more efficient in terms of using ammo. Now just wait for Gemini Man to get back down. I wish he stayed on the ground more often. Wow, with the hard suit equipped, look at the amount of damage I'm taking. It's minuscule. In fact, I could have defeated Gemini Man much earlier in the game, after I obtained my first weapon upgrade. So I can sort of control this Gemini laser, and let's see what Roll says. Remotely control it, sort of. It's not as good as the Gemini laser in Mega Man 3D. That works a lot better in terms of remote control, not to mention you have infinite ammo of that. But before I go back up to the dome, I want to deal with Stone Man next, so I'll see you there. Alright, I'm back over here. Let's face off against Stone Man. I'll equip the hard suit to reduce the amount of damage I take, as I'll need it. Let's see if he has any weaknesses. Nope, he probably doesn't. Gemini Laser seems to work wonders though. But I'd rather just use the regular Mega Buster then. I can't dodge his shockwave attack with the hard suit equipped though, so that's a sacrifice I'm gonna have to take. Running face first in him and doing this seems to be the best option, as I can essentially outdamage him due to my increased health pool. This would not have worked if I didn't have the 2 extra health tanks though. Power booster, let's see what it does. Or weapon booster, I'll call it the power booster. My weapons now deal more damage. Requires double amount of energy usage though, so I suppose it deals double damage. So it's best to use the power booster when dealing with bulky enemies or bosses. Either one will do. With the hard suit, these 2 bonus bosses weren't that bad actually. In fact, they were a lot more manageable. The only problem with the hard suit is that it reduces your mobility and makes it bad for platforming. So let's get back to the dome and go to the left first. So this is the upper living area. Certainly looks like it has more fresh air compared to the lower one. Iceman, Shadow Man, and Ferroman, although it seems that Shadow Man has vanished according to Wily. It seems that the boundaries are invisible, or they're hidden behind the walls. Or hidden behind this graphic, I mean, not the walls. And this is different. These Suzies are only vulnerable to attacks when their eyes are open. They are one shot with the flame shot though. I need that L tank, so I'm gonna have to backtrack probably. I'm gonna play safe and just use a platform. Let's go straight up this time. Oh, wonderful, there are spikes just waiting up there. Thanks, game. And I want to go to the left as well, so let me backtrack down over here and take the lower route. Getting hit by the Suzy actually kills my momentum on top of the fan. I wish there was better indications on how strong the explosions are. Anyways, the boss is Shadow Man, who is invisible. But he still takes damage. I want to try out something. Okay, that's different. Whenever I hit him with the Mega Buster, it temporarily reveals where he is. The flash works as well. But that was surprisingly easy. Even if I did this with 28 HP, it'd be super easy. The intangibility drive, it's probably temporary invulnerability. Yep, drains energy over time though. That awfully looks like a secret to the left. Nothing of value there. Let me backtrack a little bit to get back to the safe zone, refill, and then teleport back to the dome and take the bottom right route. Or rather, the right route starting from the center. That way I can deal with Pharaohman, and then afterwards I can deal with Iceman. I just wish the boss fight against Shadow Man was a bit protracted, as he was just too easy there. By this point in the game, I really think the bosses should have extra health, like at least 42 HP, especially combined with the fact that this game's invulnerability frames for everything are rather short. It's okay for the enemies, but not so much for the player and bosses, especially the bosses. For the player, there are alternative ways of dealing with it. Am I still invulnerable now? I'm still flashing. Yeah, I'm still using it too. But that's handy, we can actually have multiple tools equipped. Or rather, we can have the effects of multiple tools at once. I'll have to return back down there for the L-Tank. Time to face off against Pharaohman. Yoku blocks. He's immune against the Mega Buster, it seems, so That's not it. His weakness is then probably the bubble shot, which works pretty well, but it's probably the metal blade. It is the metal blade. So make sure you go through this boss fight with some weapon energy. If you run out, just exit the room and farm back up. Power Suit. I was hoping this boss fight would be more difficult, but it was even easier than Shadow Man. Especially with its weakness, it shouldn't deal that much damage. Power Suit is heavy, like the Hard Suit, but it increases all my attack damage, even the Mega Buster. So it's essentially an offensive-oriented version of the Hard Suit. Let me test it out. But first, I need to get to a place where I can actually use it. Like here, for example. It's certainly more powerful, but just like with the Hard Suit, as it reduces my platforming capabilities, I'll barely use it unless I'm in a boss fight. Well, to be fair, if I'm in a boss fight and it doesn't require that much platforming, I'll probably be using the Hard Suit instead. But for speedrunners, this would be a handy tool. Well, if this game actually had a speedrunner community. Iceman, I didn't expect ice blocks to explode upon destroying them. They should only melt. But Iceman is weak to the Fire Blast. I have plenty of V-Tanks, so I will use them. The amount you can carry actually goes off screen too. From what I understand, you can carry an infinite number of these. Oh wow, I'm almost out of health. This looks like a time for using this now. That is super effective. During boss battles where I don't care about the amount of damage I'm taking, this is a nice bet. Freeze Blaster. Or Freeze Ray. Seems like a consistent problem where the game calls a weapon one thing and roll calls it another. Could have been fixed with a few rounds of polish, just like many other things of this game. So Freeze's enemies can fire in any direction, even diagonally, and the frozen enemies get frozen into blocks. Let's see what this area is. This is the control tower. So I guess we're in the final part of the game now. A hidden robot master. I have the strong impression that this hidden robot master is actually Proto Man, as we lost contact with him earlier. He probably got infected with the virus. I need to make it up to the teleporter there. Right now I'll continue onwards as normally, and hope for the best. I can always farm off of these tellies though. It seems in general that this game has a higher drop rate of weapon energy compared to life energy. Oh, by the way, this is the same musical track used in the intro part of Mega Man 3D, or rather the intro sector. Oh goody, we have Mets firing from off screen. I could really do with some extra health. Seems the game is acting a bit more generous than usual. Oh goody, the indestructible turrets. Now I take no damage from these turrets. I do like how all these suits have their niches where they're useful. For instance, the hard suit makes you immune to 1 and 2 damage attacks. I just wish the effect it had on your platforming abilities wasn't as drastic. And the fire suit is only really useful in one area so far, as I haven't seen any fire since the forges. We're almost there. One more climb left over, and we have enemies attacking from off screen. I wish the enemies couldn't attack from that far off screen. If they were slightly off screen it'd be okay, but they're rather off screen, or really off screen. Also, this is neat. If you didn't actually gain access to the floating platforms, you have to use the blocks to move around. After all, by this point in the game, you're forced to have the lifting gyros. However, it's not mandatory to have the floating platforms, as Tornado Man's stage was optional, but going through Tornado Man means this segment's so much easier. Who could be up here? It's Proto Man. As expected, he's infected with the virus. And he can flip gravity and has access to almost all the special weapons I have access to, including a few ones I don't have access to. Alright, whenever he's walking around without attacking, he's immune against all attacks, even if his shield's not blocking him. So I think my best bet is to use... a combination of the Metal Blade as well as the Spines. Although the Spines only deal half damage. So I probably should be equipping this. I'm gonna start burning through L-tanks here. This seems like a good place for it. I could also do this buster only, but then I'll have to wait for him to get back on the ground, and that seems random. I also wish he had better telegraphs for all of his attacks. See, I like the ideas behind this boss battle, but it just feels poorly done. Now imagine doing this with your regular suit. You'd most likely die by this point. Oh, I was opening up the menu there by the way, but it didn't work. It seems any weapon will do, but I'd rather use the increased mobility or aim. You know, let me try out something. Will the elect beam be the best option? It does deal double damage with the power armor. And yes, he was infected with the virus. And the virus isn't in the computer systems, it's being transmitted from orbit. From the satellites. I wonder why we didn't have any dialogue at the beginning of this boss battle. Gravity module. So now we can flip gravity at will, meaning that we can collect all the L&E tanks by this point in the game. When you're upside down in order to slide, you still need to hold down and the spacebar. If you do up and the spacebar, it'll just flip gravity. Transmitter array, this is probably the final area of the game. Magma Man and Crystal Man. And then following that, there's a final boss encounter somewhere. And I have a strong hunch who the final boss of this game is. I decided to check out the secret area under the reactor, as I have enough time left in this episode. So now I can flip gravity and slide through here. I wonder what upgrade we'll get over here. Will it be a life or weapon energy upgrade? Or will it be something more substantial, like an Infinity +1 weapon? Let me try freezing these enemies, as I didn't try that before. It would have worked better if it was on a solid ground. And even when I flip gravity, I still need to worry about inertia. And now I control the block at enemies. That would have been useful in other areas. Not so much here though. In fact, in this area, as I can flip gravity, it's actually pretty useful to have the hard suit. Assuming I don't have increased inertia with the hard suit. Okay, Breakman, I guess? Okay, a harder version of Proto Man, with even more crazy attacks. So I'm gonna kill myself and try again with full health. And to be fair, I don't mind this brutal bonus boss, as by this point in the game, you're supposed to have all the mandatory upgrades, and have defeated regular Proto Man. And it's alright, I have enough LED tanks to burn. And I'm perfectly fine with burning these extra tanks for a bonus boss. Actually hitting him is the hard part due to this cramped arena. Not cramped, but it's more due to how the platforms are placed and how the AI works, and how he's only vulnerable when attacking. I just wish this MIDI remix was better. This feels lackluster. Of course, this same MIDI track was used during the final boss encounter in Mega Man 3D. It's over. Dark Breakman has been defeated. Mech Suit. Let's see what this does. Mega Man walks very slowly. Combat abilities, more damage, more armor, speed and jumping power, drains your reactor as you wear it. That's why my jump height was so high for a moment and then it diminished significantly. So it's essentially your Infinity plus 1 armor, but it costs energy over time to use it, so you need to use it well, or just spam meat tanks. For a bonus boss battles reward, this is well worth it. Now let's see it in action properly this time. We have the speed of the quick suit. Probably also have the armor of the hard suit. Yeah, we do, we're taking no damage whatsoever. Our jump height is positively insane, so I'm practically invulnerable to everything by this point in the game. So in the next part, I'll be destroying the 2 satellites and then collecting all the remaining LED tanks, the ones that I can reach and that aren't too difficult, that is. And then I'll showcase all the areas that I glossed over or skipped. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!